The quake struck in the early hours of Monday, when most people were asleep. Homes made of mud and brick crumbled within seconds, streets filled with debris. Several vehicles caught fire in the chaos. Survivors described their terror as the ground shook violently beneath them.
The earthquake started around 1 a.m. It shook so violently that we couldn't even open the door. We tried 3 times to unlock it, but the shaking was too strong to manage. It lasted for about 15 seconds, and when we finally got outside, there was so much dust in the air that we couldn't see anything. My mother was trapped under the wooden beams of the roof, and my brother was buried under the rubble. With the help of the villagers and the young men, thank God we managed to rescue them. They're now in the hospital.
In these areas, most homes offer little protection. Built from clay and stone, they collapse easily. There's no heavy machinery here, only shovels and bare hands to clear the rubble. For some families, the help came too late.
I rescued my brother's wife along with the rest of the family, but one of us was missing. I searched desperately to find him and later realized that he was trapped under the rubble. Unfortunately, he had passed away.
Those pulled from the ruins are being treated in local hospitals, facilities already stretched thin and with little international support. Afghanistan intersects a number of fault lines and is prone to earthquakes. 2 months ago, a stronger quake killed more than 2,000 people. In Mazar-i-Sharif, debris surrounds the city's iconic blue mosque, its minaret damaged by falling bricks. Among the dead, a young girl pulled from beneath the rubble. The fear now is that more damaged buildings could still collapse and the death toll will rise in the days ahead. In a country already facing poverty and isolation, each new disaster leaves Afghanistan even more fragile and its people, once again, on their own. Baig, Al Jazeera.
Let me introduce you to Samira Sayed Rahman, who's the Programme Development and Advocacy Director with Save the Children in Afghanistan. She joins us from Kabul. Many thanks for joining us, Samira. So the epicenter, we know, is near the city of Mazar-i-Sharif. Dozens reported killed in one of the country's largest city. I understand Save the Children has teams on the ground. What more details are you learning?
Thank you, Neve. This powerful earthquake struck in the northern part of the country shortly before 1 a.m. last night, with the epicenter in Samangan province in the north. And the tremors were felt all across the country, especially in the north, in Baig, Mazar-i-Sharif, as you mentioned, Saripul and Jawzjan. Even here in Kabul, it felt incredibly strong. It was one of the strongest earthquakes I've felt. The entire building shook for several seconds, and everyone ran out into the courtyard afraid to come back inside. Families in the north who we've been speaking to were jolted awake in the middle of the night, running outside as their homes violently shook. It's very hard to overstate how frightening this is, especially for children. After the devastation of August's earthquake in the east, we now have another part of the country that is now devastated, who are once again, reliving that fear of earthquakes and aftershocks.
And as you say, the quake struck at 1 a.m. Families would have been deep asleep at the time, meaning casualty numbers are likely, we understand, to increase. Can you give us a sense of what the city of Mazar-i-Sharif is like? How developed a place is it?
Well, the city of Mazar-i-Sharif has been hit quite hard. It's the epicenter of the earthquake actually is next door in Samangan province. And this is where you have homes that are, quite poorly built. They're made from bricks, they're made from clay, and with the simplest of jolts, they collapse, and that's what we have seen. We don't have a complete picture of the entirety of the damage yet, but we know that homes have collapsed. We know that critical infrastructure has been affected. The major highway between Kabul and Mazar-i-Sharif, for example, has been closed. Crews are there to clear the areas. We've seen transmission lines have also gone down, affecting, creating power outages across the country. And again, the earthquake struck in areas where people already live in fragile homes that simply cannot withstand this kind of shaking.
And Samira, given international sanctions that have been imposed on Afghanistan, the Taliban government, where does the leadership in Afghanistan, and indeed in that part of the country, look for specialist help from in the wake of natural disasters on this scale?
So we, as NGOs, are coordinating with the authorities our response as well with UN agencies. The Afghanistan National Disaster Management Authority has been coordinating that response. Save the Children has deployed a health team to the most affected district in Samangan province. But, this latest earthquake is a reminder that Afghanistan is living through overlapping crises. Economic collapse, displacement. We've seen over 2 million Afghans returning from Iran and Pakistan this year. Drought, and now these repeated disasters. And while humanitarian organizations like Save the Children are doing what we can, we need more flexible and sustainable support from the international community so that we can respond quickly to emergencies like this, but also to be able to invest in helping communities build resilience. The people of Afghanistan, especially its children, deserve to live without the constant fear of what tomorrow is going to bring.
Indeed. Well, Samira Sayed Rahman, many thanks for talking us through the details of the impact of this quake in Afghanistan. Thank you.
Don't miss out. Get the full picture. Subscribe to Al Jazeera for reliable news, expert insight. Like, share, stay ahead.